Hey Book Dragons, welcome back to my channel. Glad you could be here with me. Today we're talking Book 4 in the Dark Tower series, Wizard and Glass. Here we go. As you've heard me mention before, I'm slowly working my way through the Dark Tower series. The Dark Tower was my first foray into the world of Stephen King, and from most people I've talked to, that is the right path to go on because it is the entry point for his multiverse. So I knew that was the route to go. I knew that was the place to start at, and I've been thoroughly enjoying my ride. So I've done reviews for the first 3 books. At least I think I did one for The Gunslinger. I could be wrong, but I know I did one for The Drawing of the Three and for The Wastelands. So you can find those on my channel, check those out, see what you think of them. If you have not read the books at all, don't worry, this is a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to go into any spoilers here. I'm just going to kind of tell you what I think about this book and how it impacts the series as a whole. So stick around. We are going to talk briefly about that. Make sure that you are subscribed, you click the like, that would be fantastic. I would greatly appreciate it. And sign up for notifications if you so choose. Let's get right to the review. So yes, Wizard and Glass is the 4th book in the Dark Tower saga by Stephen King. The Dark Tower saga follows Roland Deschain on his journey to the Dark Tower. He is on a mission, so to speak, to arrive at the Dark Tower and to right the wrongs that have been done in his life. And he gathers up some other lives along the way as well to join him in the journey to the Dark Tower. It is a absolutely beautiful series dealing with so many different topics. Disability, drug abuse, destiny, pain, sorrow, anguish, happiness. I mean, it's just all over the board with the different parts of this story and the characters. It's just a fantastic tale. Having read book 4, it feels like it is a bookend of sorts. So the first book was very Western inspired. The second and third books were more portal fantasy and dystopian type stuff. And then book 4 comes back around and is mostly inspired by Westerns again. So that's why I say it's a bookend. You've got the first book and the 4th book being bookends, and you get some elements of the other genres of speculative fiction in there as well, but it's mostly Western. And I'll be honest, I am not a fan of Westerns. There's been a select few that I've really enjoyed throughout my life. High Noon with Gary Cooper, El Dorado with John Wayne. I'm just not, other than those two, I've never really enjoyed a Western per se. I don't read Western-inspired books. My parents were big fans of Louis L'Amour and Zane Grey. Not my cup of tea, just not my thing. But that being said, I really liked the Western style perspective in the Dark Tower books, and that's saying something. So the first book, you're mostly following Roland on his journey to the Dark Tower, and it's a very tunnel vision book. It's all about Roland determined to get to the Dark Tower, catch the Man in Black, and end the story. And then the second and third books, then you start picking up some perspectives of other characters. This book finally gives some answers as to who Roland is. So if you, like me, read the first book and you were like, yeah, that was okay, but it didn't blow me away, it left a lot of stuff unanswered, I don't really know a whole lot about Roland, keep reading the series. I know you might feel like you want to drop it after book one. Don't. Keep reading the series, because you get so many questions answered about Roland and his backstory that you maybe even didn't want to know. You get to learn about him as he was a young cowboy before he was a brand new gunslinger at the time of the story in this book, and he was a young kid, probably about 14 years old, and you get to learn all about the events that made him the man that he is in book one. And so you get a lot of questions answered. If you have read as far as book 3 and there's a cliffhanger at the end of book 3, that cliffhanger is fantastically resolved at the beginning of this book, and then you go on to get Roland's history. And then at the end, you get a really weird mashup of you get some science fiction, you get some pandemic type stuff, dystopian, post-apocalyptic. You get a lot of nerdy references. I don't want to spoil it, but just know that you get some references to a classic cinematic tale that is based on another series of books. And if you think long and hard about the title of this book, Wizard and Glass, you can probably surmise what that reference is. But it is just a fantastic book. At the beginning of it, after the cliffhanger from book 3 kind of wrapped up, and then it started into the whole backstory of Roland, I got to thinking to myself, I'm like, oh man, here we go with the Western stuff again. But I was pleasantly surprised how much I enjoyed it. And really, it boils down to the character work. It does. The character work in this book, man, Stephen King writes amazing characters. So if you like a good character study, just that alone is worth reading these books. And so book 4 is no different. I am very excited to continue on with the series and see what happens, because there was a whole lot left unanswered in book 4. Even though there are elements of the first 3 books that felt like fantasy, this is the book that really felt the most fantasy to me at the end. I'm like, whoa, okay, now we're really getting into the good stuff. So I give this book a solid 4 stars. It was a really great read. Once I'm done with the entire series, I may even go back and read just certain books or read the whole series again. Just not anytime soon, but in the future I will definitely probably want to reread it just to see some of the things I missed. And there are other books that I probably should have read before getting into the Dark Tower, but it's okay. So let me know what you think. If you read Wizard and Glass, what were your thoughts on it? Do you like the direction it's going? If you read the entire Dark Tower series, please be so kind as not leave spoilers in the comments below. I would appreciate it. I know other people watching this video would appreciate that, and just can't say enough good. This was really, really good. Pick up the Dark Tower series if you have not read it. It is well worth your time. Make sure you stick around. I am coming up on my 2-year anniversary on BookTube. Yes, my 2-year BookTube anniversary. So I'm doing a Q&A. Make sure and leave questions in the comments below so that I can answer your questions, and you can learn so much more about me that maybe you didn't even want to know. Maybe you just asked a question because, okay, here's a question. But maybe you really didn't want to know the answer. Well, too bad. You asked the question, you're going to get an answer from me, okay? And I've got other great videos coming up. I am going to be doing more book reviews coming up as well. I've kind of laid off the book reviews a little bit. I'm going to be coming back to those, but I've got more book tags and stuff like that I'm excited about doing too. So stick around, don't go anywhere, okay? And make sure that you are reading more books. I'll see you soon.